Hello and welcome to the New Age Geek channel. If you're new here, we build an inclusive space for people of all walks of life through the power of friendship, magic, and tabletop role-playing games. Tonight we have Forging Fates, our sober D&D campaign set the critical role world of Exandria, following our adventuring party, the Fists of Fate. Hello, Fists. How are you tonight?
Good.
Doing good
Better
job.
now that I'm here. Just a friendly little reminder for everybody in chat that the New Age Geeks includes more than just us up here on the screen. It relies on all of you wonderful geeks and your participation in this community that we are building together. Remember, we're all in this together. High School Musical, that shit.
Together.
No.
If you want to become one of the New Age Geeks, you absolutely can. Just make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels, as well as joining our Discord server, where you will find moderated chats, emotes by one of our favorite geeks, Sarah.
Love you,
Hi,
Sarah.
Sarah. Love you. And chat rooms with the cast and other members of this growing community. Remember, the best way to help us out is with engagement. So we'd greatly appreciate if you'd watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that these platforms know to share us with everybody else. And speaking of engagement, we would absolutely love if you guys would clip any moments from stream that you want to hold on to and cherish, whether that be the funny moments, the sad moments, the romantic moments. Ooh. Maybe. And then beyond Twitch and YouTube, we also have posts going up on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Threads. So if you are on those platforms, make sure to follow us for more geeky goodness.
Twitch Prime is free if you already have Amazon Prime. That awards you a 1-month subscription to any channel on Twitch. Once per month, you'll need to go in and resubscribe to that channel at no additional cost. Link your accounts and click subscribe with Prime on that channel. If you are feeling charitable, please subscribe on Twitch and YouTube, perhaps give subscriptions to others, share using bits, donate via PayPal, check out our merch shop, and subscribe to our Patreon. Lastly, if you wish to become a sponsor for the New Age Geeks, reach out to us directly via our Instagram page to begin those discussions. Blah 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 blah.
Speaking of sponsors, if you're enjoying the music we have going on here today on Forging Fates, we highly recommend checking out the Songcraft bot. Songcraft bot allows you to play open source, community selected music and soundscapes directly from your Discord server with just a few clicks. Whether you're playing with friends or streaming on Twitch, you can use I stream. You can use the audio stress-free. With their pro-level subscription, you get their playlist builder, shareable playlist codes, access to 40+ music genres and 20+ soundscape types, global genre selections, and 2 premium Discord servers, all for just $10 a month. But by using our referral code NAG, that's N-A-G, you get $2 off your subscription for the first 3 months. All you need to do to get started is invite the Songcraft bot of your choosing to your server, then just hit play and let Songcraft take care of the rest.
And then we also have a partnership going on with Dragon's Nest Delivery. Dragon's Nest Delivery is a amazing shop you need to check out for almost all of your D&D needs. They have dice, apparel, and even a D&D subscription box. What? So make sure to head on over and also check out their Natural 20 card collection. Stainless steel laser engraved cards that you can use as rewards for your players. We will be using those on QPD shortly. Hopefully, we will. And then make sure that when you do check out, to make sure to use our referral code New Age Geeks, all one word, for 18% off of your order. And yes, it actually includes the D&D subscription box. So make sure to check them out. They got really sick dice too. You can't really see. It's like some dragon scale dice. So check them out. Highly recommend.
All right. There are several other announcements we have today. Firstly being Goodberry Cafe coming at us next week. Jem, tell us about it.
Yeah, so in honor of Spooky Month, we'll be playing Cracker Barrel Has Fallen, a Southern Gothic zombie adventure. It's going to be silly. Our DM for the episode is going to be Quint, and If you join us next week, we'll have all of their socials for all the players at the table, and it's definitely going to be spooky silly.
You have the list of players for that yet?
I do, but I don't have their handles.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Announcement number 2. We have new art for our level 11 characters. You can see it in the name tags below there are players, as well as the wonderful character art, which someone made all these wonderful character sheets. I don't know who could have done it. It was me. That is coming to us from Clara Fang 12 on Instagram. You can find their Instagram page in the chat below. Also, because I have unilaterally decided such, Brad Rules is now a VIP in our chat. So, congratulations,
10 out of
Brad.
10. Hell yeah.
So Brad.
We love you, Brad. Thank you for sticking around.
Number 1 fan.
Let's see. What else we got? We've got... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the Roll for Wishes events have started, and you can see a number of us in different one-shots or 2-part series on different channels, and to make sure to stay tuned on our socials. I know Joe and Dom are in one next week.
Tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Joe, where's that airing?
That's airing right here on the New Age Geeks channel, where we're starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is going to be a D&D game hosted by their handles, which I don't have in front of me right now.
Jackie is the GM.
Yes,
and
now I know
we're
that.
also going to have the 2 of us and Tay and Tank as players, along with a setting by Logomancy Media, who is also running the Roll for Wishes event.
Yes, their handles on Instagram are Sky Knight Jackie, who will be the game master. We are playing with Tay Ray 3 Streams and Tank Tolman, who probably most of you know. Yes, the Hammer.
We are shouting out other games we're in.
Yes,
I'm gonna go
get
ahead
after
and once
it.
again say that this Friday and every Friday in October, I am playing Miss Abilene, a kind of crazy teacher, in Old Gods of Appalachia on the Nerds with Dice channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are raising money for hurricane relief down in the Appalachians. So if you donate during our games, you put your name into a raffle to potentially win an Old Gods of Appalachia source book.
Sweet.
So
yeah.
Oh, shit.
come watch, enjoy, donate, win.
Amazing.
Last shout out, I promise. Next Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be playing Oops All Goblins over on the Logomancy Media channel.
Nice.
With Mr. Shikadance, Run DMG, and Dungeon Mistress C.
Okay.
So
That's
sure
a
to
good
check that out.
lineup, dude.
Right? I'm so
Great
excited. Logomancy, James, he will be DMing it, so I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Cool.
Hey, we got another shout out to do on the 16th. That's next Wednesday after Goodberry Cafe and all the wonderful Tuesday events. We have Queer and Present Danger coming back.
Yes.
Let's go.
So come back here at our usual channel, our usual time, and see our usual faces on our Wednesday show.
Okay. And once again, we welcome back Daytay Cosplays to the table. Daytay, thank you again for joining us. Go ahead and shout out everything you've got to shout out, where the people can find you and whatnot.
Hello, everybody. It is me, Daytay Cosplay. I will be with the Goodberry Cafe. I think it's a one shot. The Cracker Barrel has fallen. With Whisper. I'm super excited. I know I'm kind of new to this world, but it is a wild ride, and I am holding on for dear life. You can find me, of course, on most social medias as Daytay Cosplay. That's DAYTAY Cosplay. You can Google me, and you can also find me in the white pages.
Okay.
Back to you, Joe.
Okay. I think that's all the announcements we have for
Hey, you got
the
any
next week.
Thursday goodness
Not this Thursday.
happening? No, but next Thursday on the 17th, I do believe you have investigation check with Pluto Cleric.
Yes. Well, I didn't want to shout out 2 weeks in advance. But yeah,
Too
I will
bad.
be interviewing Pluto Cleric next Thursday, which is gonna be a lot of fun. And if we're just gonna run down the fucking month, I've got AJ Winters the week after that for the DM and showrunner and all of fucking insanity maniac of Castleton, which is returning November 2nd, which our amazing Gem is on. Um,
Give the people what they want, Joe, and what they want is ability to plan ahead.
Yes.
follow the socials then.
That's true. Yeah.
The Virgos on this
That's also
game can't
true.
function without planning ahead.
I'm
All
not a
right.
Virgo, I just have anxiety.
Me and Dante are.
Yeah. And I'm already, like I said, living on a prayer over here. So
Hey, Earth signs unite, okay? Don't listen. Leave me alone. I feel excluded from this. All right. Anyways, we're diving into tonight's episode of Forging Fates. And we're back. So, recapping the traumatic last 2 sessions is Clover.
It is gonna be me. Another night in Vasselheim, and the hits just keep coming. Today was a disaster with Samuel. I mean, we killed her, but not before she got what she wanted, to revive the Stone Titan. We felt it move while we were still inside of it, and jetted up the stairs, which was rigorous, to say the least. Whisper Finnick and this bard that we met in there, Zeril, flew out into the sky, while Gormrog and I jumped off of the Titan just as it burrowed itself underground. Standing on the outside now, we could only see mass destruction in every direction. Devastation as far as the eye could see. It was barely Vasselheim anymore. Just the outskirts of the city surrounding essentially a sinkhole. Finnick was looking rough, and Whisper and Gormrog were worse for wear. We desperately needed to take a break and fill our cups, but Zeril got so defensive when I said that. He needed to go into the city to find someone, but what city? It was gone. And we would be too if we didn't get some rest. It wasn't easy to convince him, but eventually we made it back to Finnick's home. I guess that's what it is. It was her parents' home, but they're gone now. As soon as we got there, I ran up to an empty room so I could finally just have a single moment to myself to breathe. Looking out the window, I thought about Tristan and how I didn't do enough to find him before we came back here. I laid down in bed and closed my eyes, and suddenly I was in a dream. Somewhere I don't think I've ever been before, but something about it was so familiar. And there were these people there. They kind of resembled me, but not exactly. It was like deja vu. Everything felt like a word that was on the tip of my tongue, but I just couldn't say it. And then I saw a blue flash and woke up to a blue feather laying on the windowsill. And a note on the floor under my door from Gormrog sharing his appreciation for me, which was really nice. I made my way downstairs to find him and Zeril standing together waiting for everyone else to join. I just started to speak when Zeril called me Flopsy, and I lost it. I ran right back up to bed and slammed my door and just cried. Gormrog ran after me, and after a brief talk, he convinced me to come downstairs for dinner. Pickings were slim, but I saw some potatoes and onions and offered up one of Mama's recipes. When there was a knock on the door, and Finnick opened it, I almost lost it. Earthbreaker Grun walked in with a horde of injured survivors behind him, people who didn't have anywhere else to go. I went right back to cooking, but this time for hundreds. Thankfully, Finnick thought to use Purify food and drink, so we had so many more groceries to work with. As the night was coming to a close, I walked out into the hall and noticed a group of children, a half dozen of them worn down, tear-stained, and sitting amongst themselves with no parents in sight. I had a pit in my stomach about what that meant. I took them some leftovers and sat with them, making vegetables taste like candy, putting on a light show. Anything to distract them from the fact that they were alone. and that might just be the way that it is for them for a little while.
Okay. So, as we get ready to pick up from there, is there anything anyone would like to do this evening before you all settle down and prepare for the next day?
I would like to try and find Whisper.
Okay. Whisper, where are you?
Where are you looking?
First I'd start with the kitchen, and then we lost Zero.
And
Nope, that didn't work.
First I would start with the kitchen, and then the dining room. Should we wait?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump over to break screen real quick. And we're back.
Bumped something. Sorry, y'all.
You scared us. Okay, so I'm looking for Whisper. I'd start looking in the kitchen and then the dining room, and then if I can't find her, I'd look outside.
I don't think you're going to find me. I'm outside, but I'm not as Whisper.
Okay. How long does Finnick want to keep looking for Whisper then?
I'll just sit outside for like 20 minutes, sort of take in the quiet, and then if she doesn't make herself known, I'll head back inside.
Okay. That being said, Whisper, what are you doing outside in this moment?
After my talk with Zero, I stayed outside. I hung out with Talon a little bit. I decided to. There was just a lot going on and a lot that had happened. And so I wanted to fly around a little bit. So I turned into a bat and spent some time just flying around the area. And then I decided I wanted to sleep in a tree like I used to a lot when I would feel overwhelmed. So.
Okay. Is there anything you're looking for in particular, or? Okay.
Peace and quiet.
Okay. I will say, as you spend the evening outside, you can see fires burning off in the distance in Vasselheim. You do see the faint movement of people moving through the city. There is survivors clearly still throughout the city, and they are doing their best to survive the cold, exceptionally cold nights of the northern continent that houses the city of Vasselheim. And it's cold for you too, but I will say roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Well, if it was cold outside, and where would my big coat be?
You would have grabbed it, I would assume, in your form,
Yeah.
in your normal form.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna the DC is not gonna be super high because you are used to spending nights outside, but just roll me a saving throw just in case.
Okay.
For shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see how this goes. First roll of the night.
And con?
Yep.
15.
Okay, you're fine. It's cold, but you're used to it. You've survived longer in worse weather.
Mhm.
But eventually, you as well drift off to sleep. And if there's nothing else anyone would like to do for the evening, we'll start up the next day. I will say, unless anyone has anything to do in particular, Whisper, being the one outside, are going to be the first to rise as the sun kind of crests over and striking you against the face. The sun hitting your eyelids, kind of waking you. You're now back in your elven form, but you're still within the tree.
Oh, yeah. I would have changed back while I was
Yeah.
in the tree. Yeah.
Okay.
I would not trust myself falling asleep as a bat.
Just hanging upside down.
Yeah. But you are the first to awaken. And even in the early morning, you see
There are the gates of the keep that I don't know. Finnick, have you renamed the keep, or is it still?
I haven't renamed it yet because I never thought to.
Okay.
Um, I guess that's something I will think of at a later date
Okay.
or later time.
No worries. But as you kind of waken for the next day, you see there are refugees still making their way up into the keep. It is at the point now where there are people just kind of setting fires in the grounds within the walls, and the gate is still destroyed from your all's attack against the city, against the keep. So they are just freely entering at this point. There are makeshift tents and lean-tos kind of being set up. People are battered, bruised, bloody, and broken as they continue to pour in. And that's the scene you awaken to.
I'm gonna hop down and head to the kitchen.
Okay, you make your way into the kitchen, and there's already a few people awake, actually, kind of making their way through. There are some people dressed in cleric's robes that are working their way into the kitchen. A variety of different sigils adorning them. There is some from the Platinum Temple. There's some from Melora's sect that are kind of doing their best. Some of them using some druidic powers. You see them growing some vegetables that is then being transferred to another cleric that is processing them and getting everything ready to try and feed all of these people. And you see everyone's kind of starting to help out as best they can. But that is the city, the keep rather, is bustling even in this early morning. There are people that are up. There's still a lot of people like sleeping in their various places, some in the hallways, but the keep is starting to come alive.
Just gonna grab some things off of like some plates
Easy enough.
as I sneak around.
Easy enough. Where are you headed to?
I'm eating.
Okay. You find yourself a corner where you're able to get a little food inside your stomach and begin to eat. What about the rest of you? Who would like to be the next one awake?
I usually wake up pretty early.
Okay.
And I would like to go see if Finnick's awake yet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go look for her.
Finnick, where are you?
Finnick is in her old bedroom. She is awake, but she is still in bed. And she's probably been awake for at least an hour.
Going to knock on the door, but she's not gonna wait for Finnick to respond. She's gonna knock twice and then just push the door open. Hey.
Morning.
With no idea of boundaries, she's gonna close behind her, the door behind her, and then get into bed with Finnick. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Finnick like scooches over a little bit. How are you doing?
Well, it kind of hurts my heart to see everything that's happening downstairs and everywhere around here. How are you doing? You've been through a lot more than I have.
I mean, I would say I had a brush with death, but there's no really other way to put it, is that I died. And that's terrifying.
Really need to stop doing that.
Trust me, I don't willingly want to. It's just the odds weren't in my favor.
Are you okay being back here? I know that's gotta be pretty hard.
It's I'm managing. And you can see Finnick is like fidgeting with what looks to be like a kid's toy in her hands.
Yours.
Yeah. As much as I hated spending time in this room as a kid, it was also one of the only safe spaces I had.
I understand that.
So I think we need to clean out the chapel.
And to talk to you about that, I know things were always pretty difficult, but I also noticed that towards the end there you were kind of holding on to some hope, and I wanted to know if maybe you wanted to do something special for them. Maybe say something. Not really sure how it works, but I just wanted to let you know that if you did want to do that, I would do it with you.
Yeah. Whenever we had people that fell, there was always a fire that we would make, and I think I could probably, I think I still remember it. If not, they would for sure have a book around here somewhere. But it would give people more room as well.
Speaking of people, is there a very close town nearby that maybe we can go and stock up on food? Because we're running pretty low here. We do have some druids down in the kitchen making some vegetables, which is pretty cool. I wish I could do that. But I don't know if that's going to work for the long haul.
I mean, I can check and see if they have any spell scrolls of like create food and water. 'Cause Joe, would I know of any small towns nearby? Or is this place pretty isolated?
Let me
Even a place
s-
that it would take like even like 6 hours to get to. I don't know. That could be a day trip.
Let me see here. I wasn't prepared for this question. I apologize, everyone.
Sorry.
Um,
I keep doing that.
Well, even then, I imagine they would keep like spell scrolls of create food and water,
Yeah.
or like Hero's Feast.
Yeah, but you need a bowl for that.
the only other settlement that is still active on the continent of Silra is the Druid Conclave of Pyra.
How far is
Understand
that?
any of those words.
God, how far away is that?
It is. I'm gonna say because it doesn't have it listed here.
If you can, if it's too far, just say too far.
I would say it's a half day's journey.
I want them to be welcoming to
Yeah, they probably wouldn't be.
everybody
I mean,
else.
they might, but if we were just showing up begging for food, I don't know how they would take to that.
We need to find someone who has the sending spell so that we can call people to bring us stuff so that it doesn't take as long. Even from like big cities far away, I think people would want to help if they heard about the destruction here.
Yeah. Joe, were any of the spell scrolls that I found a sending spell?
Yep.
I have one scroll of sending. Where do...
One scroll of sending and so many people I'd like to talk to.
I know. Maybe Keyleth, the voice of the Tempest, could help?
She's
But
with Aster. Maybe if Aster's with her, she could even give us a rundown of what's happening in Westrin.
It's true.
Oh my
Um,
god. It just hit me that Westrin could be as bad as this.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of hold Clover's hand. If one of her hands are available, I'm just gonna like grasp it. I think we just need a moment of peace.
I'm really happy that you came back. Seeing you
Yeah,
on the
me too.
seeing you on the ground was the scariest thing that we've been through yet. And Clover is going to pat her hand but release it and say, I think that's enough heaviness for one conversation. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go see if there's anything I can do around here. I'll talk to you later. Let me know if you decide to contact Keyleth because I would like to be there for that.
Yeah, I'll start trying to figure out what to say, and then I'll let you know, and if there's any changes you want to make. It's only 25 words though, so remember
Right.
that.
Yeah. And I'll leave.
Okay. Is there anywhere you would like to head to at this point, or?
Pass the torch to somebody else.
Okay. Gormrug? Sarah?
I'll get up with the dawn, and start trying to find the community leaders that have sprung up. Try and get to know the people who have come in. Just help people get situated, get organized, help people who need to get treated, get to the people who need to be the ones to treat them. But I want to check in with Earthbreaker Groon. Because he seems to be at the head of it all. At least from what I remember last night.
Mm.
And I also know that he's having a moment of doubt, which is very unlike him. So I want to just check in and see where he's at.
Okay. He's easy enough person to find. Standing, at least width-wise, much larger than most of the other people in this space. His face is bruised now, and the next day kind of rises, you see purple kind of covering up a good portion of his face. His arm bandaged off, and you see all the bandages all kind of held together with this belt that's still kind of strapped tight to his arm. You see him kind of working his way through the people's, mostly outside, doing his best to gather up the remnants of his order, flock, whatever word you'd care to use, as he helps those he can. And as you kind of approach him, he turns around, his eye a bit more swollen shut than it was the day before. Gormrug.
We, still alive, huh?
For now.
Good. Listen, I know we've been through some heavy shit, and heavy shit's inbound. But I got some questions. You got a minute?
Sure. Kind of follows you off to a more secluded corner.
Well, I respect the importance of everything we're doing here. Everything you're doing here. I know the Wyvern Riders have their own place far outside the city. I know that we were keeping our airship with them. I'm worried about them. and I don't know if you saw if any of them are still alive, Citron and them. I know when we landed, that turtle thing sent a rock flying at our ship. Somebody went careening off the side. I doubt they survived. But if the ship's still intact, I'd like to at least try to make contact with them.
I saw the ship as it fell from the sky north of here. Crashed into the forest. I haven't seen any of your crew make their way over to this keep yet.
Mm-hmm. Can I use the guard to try and sense those giant things that kept the airship going?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I don't know if this will work, but give me a second. +3, 15.
Okay. As you reach in to the vibrations that are within your mind, the two massive signals or forces that have risen since yesterday, as you go to tap into that, explode back into your mind. And you feel them wreck your brain. You take 5 points of psychic damage as you try and touch that, as what you gather is the Earth Titan and the Fire Titan's increased presence on the mortal plane is now affecting your ability to use the shards as directional tools.
Well, shit. Do I recognize that the Fire Titan is also causing that interference?
You can tell that it's the Fire Titan. It is a weaker vibration than the Earth Titan. Whether that be because it's across the Earth, on a different continent.
Yeah.
But or for some other reason, but both of those signals are so large that it's overwhelming, and it's hard to even gauge where they are anymore.
Right. So I can't sense the primordial crystals from the ship. The Titans are in the way. But you said it was to the north. I don't suppose any of your people have the spell that could talk to people really far away?
I can find a few if you need to send messages out.
Like Citron, Voice of the Tempest, any of Vox Machina that might be left. I know Grog is gone. I don't know who else is. Was it Percival who gave us the ship?
Give me an hour. I'll send a few to you, and we can make these connections.
I appreciate it and everything you're doing. I know capacity is limited, but effort is appreciated regardless. And I'm gonna pat him on the good shoulder.
Okay.
Pass the torch.
Okay. Zaro.
I am not a early riser, so
Okay.
gotta get that beauty rest. But also I kind of also don't. I've also forced myself back to sleep like 3 or 4 times because I just kind of don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Finnick was up for an hour. I was just like, I'm just gonna force myself back into sleep, and I've done it at least 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm tired of sleep, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying everything I can to get away from this feeling of like being lost, because the city that I came back to save or to liberate or to, you know, you know, give a renaissance to is basically gone. Um, and I'm kind of not sure what to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because the what's the point? Kind of like, what's the point? Because these people, it's kind of I'm thinking in my head like, well, on the bright side, it's kind of fixed itself.
Okay.
Because the people that are corrupt are possibly dead. But also it's like I think I was really hung up on I was supposed to, you know, liberate the people.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to help the people, and not only did I not do that, now everybody's in a worse wear, and it's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I really don't want to get up. I don't want to face the world anymore. So I'm going to stay in bed and pull the covers over my head and try to force myself back to sleep.
Okay. I will say about another 30 or 45 minutes go by before you just can't sleep anymore, and you are
I gotta pee and I gotta
yeah
get up.
eventually
I'm
forced
like, I gotta
eventually
pee.
forced to get up and face the day at this point.
Right. So I guess I'm gonna slump out of bed.
Mhm.
I'm not the self-assured, fast talking, quick thinking person. I'm this very Howl's Moving Castle slump.
Okay.
Trying to make my way out of the room, trying to find a bathroom in this keep, and there's people everywhere. So I'm like stepping over people and like trying to get by people. I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people think that I'm just came from the city. So people are trying to offer me stuff like, oh wow, you look bad. You must have just came from the city. I'm like, no, I just woke up.
Fair enough.
I guess I'm gonna try to go downstairs and get something to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you spend the morning getting yourself a little bit cleaned up,
Oh, yeah.
as is your way. Always got to look fabulous, even in the face of tragedy. But you get yourself ready, make your way downstairs, kind of start to gather a bit of food that has been prepared in these massive servings as you go ahead and pull off a bit for yourself. And it's at this point you kind of see some of the other members of the Fists of Fate. You see Whisper off eating a little bit of food. You see Clover enjoying a little bit in her own space as well. Doesn't seem like any of them have really started to connect with each other in the morning yet, but they all have that look of just that 1,000-yard stare in their eyes.
Question.
Mhm.
Has it's been since the fight with Semayor, it's been a day or two?
Been about
It's been-
One day. That happened yesterday
yeah,
morning.
like
That was yesterday
24
morning.
hours. Yeah.
24 hours. I realized that it's been 24 hours and I'm in the kitchen somewhere, right?
Yep.
Is there like a sink or something where like something I can get like a reflection?
There is a wash basin that you would be able to get a reflection in.
Can I go over to the wash basin and check my reflection really quickly?
Sure.
I'm supposed to. I go over to the wash basin and I check my hair because I haven't dyed my hair.
Okay.
And I'm like, I think people think it's gray, but it's like has like a little shine to it, like an iridescent like thing, and it's like under, and I'm like, okay. And I don't panic, but I put everything down and I turn around to go back to my room because I need to very quickly and very quietly go back to my room and dye my hair. Like
Do you
that.
have dyeing material with you? Is that something that
I do.
you commonly
I
pack?
do.
Okay.
I have grease in my pack.
Okay.
I have like grease and I have like ash and I have all that stuff in my pack. I packed it. On
Okay.
purpose.
All right. So Zaryl
Mhm.
makes his way back upstairs as you, Gormrog, are kind of coming in and seeing what you kind of clock Zaryl making his way back upstairs momentarily. You see Whisper and Clover. You see Finnick kind of trying. No, Finnick. I didn't think it's Finnick. Yeah, I was trying to remember.
Finnick's still in her room.
Finnick's still in a room. Okay. So you see Whisper and Clover both off in their own spaces, just trying to get some nourishment. What are you doing, Gormrog?
Hey, good morning. Oh, all right. Bye. As Zaryl just other directions it. I'll get some food for myself and if Whisper is in the area, I'll pick up extra food and just like tie it into a bundle and like bring it over to her. And like while I'm eating my own food, I'll just wordlessly just put the bundle of food in front of her and just like push it towards her.
Whisper's sitting on the ground somewhere, like right near the kitchen. She's got a full plate of food. So she.
That's why it's bundled. Save it for later. And I'll just sit with her as long as she'll allow and just eat my food while she eats hers. I'm not really like trying to engage. I'm not trying to be in my own space. It's just kind of sharing the recovery from the tragedy.
Okay.
Just like I'm still here. I'm still here. You're still here. We went through that. That shit sucked, but not really talk about it.
All right. Then Finnick, what is your next step?
I've written out because like Finnick was sitting in her room, like writing, trying to figure out like because sending is such a limited spell.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wrote out a message, scribbled it out, wrote it out, scribbled it out, and I'm gonna send ascending to the voice of the Tempest. Vasselheim has fallen. Earth Primordial resurrected. We're housing survivors at Dawn Keep Citadel. Need help, supplies, and food. Updates on Westron appreciated. Please continue contact.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Such a heavy message.
Right.
Hey, trauma jump! Help us!
Can you imagine getting that out of nowhere? Like,
You're like at dinner
yeah.
and you're just like,
People-
oh shit.
I mean,
Okay. You feel the voice begin to come back to you, which is a good sign. But as it begins to speak, you can hear strain in every inch of her voice. Trying keep it closed. Been up for weeks now. Can't hold much longer.
Oh my god.
Will send when I can. Check pirate.
Fuck. Fuck. Hope no kids are watching. Fuck. Oh. I'm immediately gonna start looking for, I guess any others, because like I know I have 6 spell scrolls left, but I don't know what they are.
Roll a d6.
A d6.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
All 6 of them are sending spells. Looks like you
Fuck!
looks like you came into a sending spell trove.
Cool. I wouldn't know anybody in Pyra. I don't think. The only way I can think of to get to Pyra is to fly by taking Goldie. But I don't want to split the party, like, cross-continental. Would it... Because you said it's, like, half a day's journey. I'm assuming that you meant by flying.
Not by foot.
Not by foot. Okay. Gonna put the little kids, like the kid's toy, in my bag of holding, and I'm just gonna quietly make my way downstairs. I don't know if I see Zeril pass by at all.
I would say you see Zeril as the door closes to his room, the room he was staying in.
Okay. Talk to you later, I guess. And then I'll make my way downstairs.
Okay. And as you come downstairs, you see the defeated look of hundreds of people in your ancestral home.
I recognize that look. Because it's essentially just me reflecting onto them, feeling defeated.
Okay.
I'm gonna, I guess, in passing with everybody, just trying to check in. Like, are there any more seriously injured? Are there any more...
I would say at this point, everyone's being taken care of by the massive amount of religious individuals that are within the city of Vasselheim.
Cool.
That stresses off you at this point.
Gotcha. So then I'll head to the kitchen.
Okay. Go ahead and grab yourself up some food and eventually join the rest of the fists.
There anymore. But you can continue. We'll get to that later. I'm not doing anything crazy.
We're just
Over
dodging
is-
each
I
other.
know, an hour of me trying to get you all together.
Looting what?
All the survivors and refugees, if anything they had left.
Doesn't sound like me.
Anyways, Finnick, Whisper, Gormrug, you are all now together.
Well, because they said they were sitting on the floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine I can pick up that the we aren't in the mood to talk sort of vibe going on. Or like that whole like we'll talk about it later.
That's where I'm at. I don't know about Whisper.
Okay. If no one wants to talk and no one wants to do anything, we're going to move forward then.
I want to talk, but I feel like Whisper doesn't want to talk right now. She's busy eating.
I'm eating.
Okay, then we're gonna move forward in time. Zarel now makes their way back downstairs. What are you doing during this time, Clovers?
Well, yeah, so I stopped in the kitchen, I grabbed something to eat, but I've really spent the last hour trying to do something beneficial to Finnick and everyone. So I went to the chapel and I started cleaning. So I've
Okay.
spent the last hour gently putting Finnick's parents side by side as much as I could. I mean, we all know how that all worked out. But I've been, like scrubbing down the floors and removing all of the other debris and whatnot so that we can put them to rest
Okay.
and also fill up this chapel with more people as soon as possible.
Okay. As the hour kind of goes by, eventually Earthbreaker Groon making his way back in with a few people following him, looks towards you, Gormrug, and begins to call you all over to enter into the chapel area, being the last, as far as he knows, the only private space left in the building. And as you all are led over there, you enter in, you see Clover cleaning as best she can in the space. You see your parents' bodies kind of organized and covered with a sheet.
Organized.
Organized is wild.
But the four of you enter in, followed by Groon and two other clerics that he has brought with him. So, Gormrog asked me to bring over some people who are able to send messages for you, and I'm sure there's plenty of messages to be sent. How would we like to do this? Where do we want to get started?
I guess open forum here, guys.
So they are in
Am I in the
the
room?
chapel and they're offering to send messages.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I was in the
Oh.
room yet. I was like, am I in the room?
I'm sure everyone
Yes.
does. We'll
Yeah.
take turns. Who wants to go
Yeah.
first?
I would like to send some messages.
Okay.
Oh my God, contact.
I need to get in touch with at least two people.
They have to be people they know, so it has to be.
Oh, they know. Can I? You said they're clerics.
Yeah.
Can I ask them if they know of the cleric nun from the Paylor following in the city? If they would know her,
What's their name?
Lincia.
Lincia.
She's the only cleric nun.
I believe I remember her. Let me, I can certainly try. What would you like to send? For this, I'm going to just, you do the
Yes.
25 words. I am not going to then retranslate it into them trying to do 25 words. So you do your 25 words. That'll be the message that's sent.
Okay, 25 words. Do you want me to write it down right now, or can I just say it?
You can just say it. Just say it.
Just say it.
Oh.
Just make sure it's less than 25 words.
Okay, I'm like,
I can keep track if you want.
please. I'm back in the city. Are you still here? What do I do next?
You have 10 words left if you want to use them.
Is father alive? That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I get another message, or is that the only message?
There is a message that comes back.
Okay.
We're alive. Father's been injured. We used the teleportation circle to escape the city. The city.
So they're together? Jesus. That
We are in Marquette.
head.
Marquette.
Together?
Yep.
That's all.
Okay. I'm like flabbergasted, shocked.
Okay.
Do we all hear the response? Or
Well,
how
they
does
have to
that
say
work?
it out loud. So
say it out
Okay.
loud.
Yeah.
Together? Together is wild. There's no way. I'm gonna like. I'm just like. Together is like blowing my mind.
okay.
Yeah.
Who would like to send
gonna
the
go
next message then?
It.
I was hoping to talk to Citron
Okay.
if he's still alive.
All right. Let's go ahead and send your
Um,
message.
Finnick, what do we call this place?
For now, it's still the Dawn Keep Citadel. I haven't had time to think of another
Dawn Keep
name
Citadel.
for it.
Is that one word? 2 words? 3? I
Uh,
don't even know. How do you do this with this magic stuff? I don't. All right. hang
years
on.
of practice. I think Dawn Keep is just one word,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. 2 syllables.
Sure.
Sure.
Fists of Fate and Vasselheim survivors.
Fist of Fate
At,
and Vasselheim survivors. I got this, Joe. Don't
Thank
worry.
you. Thank you.
at
I
Dawn
got you.
Keep Citadel.
Okay.
What's a face is dead. What's a face is one word, Joe. You know that. You're from New York.
New York idioms does not translate into spellcraft.
With
Yes, it
Gorbog's
does.
accent, yes, it does.
What's a face is dead. Primordial on the loose.
You have 7 words left.
Status update, please. That's it.
Retreated back to Frostfang. We have your captain rescued her. Crew's dead. Wyvern's dead. What else did you ask? I'm sorry.
Fucking status update and any help.
We'll bring supplies in a few hours. Not much left. Saw the Titan. This is the worst outcome.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence, Citron. Cool, great, love that. Tag you're it, whoever's going next.
What do you got,
I'll
Clover?
go unless Whisper, do you want to go?
I don't have anyone to talk to.
I have so many people to talk to. Hi, can you contact my sister Aster? She's either in Western or Zephyra.
I don't know your sister Astra, so unless you're able to conjure an image of her, I will not be able to contact them.
Can I like draw an image of her?
We can try. Roll me a d20 performance check.
Guidance.
D4.
Yes.
Performance is a +2 and then a D4. I rolled a 1 on the D4. 14.
All right. I will say that's enough for her to make an attempt. So I will roll a d20 to see if. Okay, she is able to get through. You feel the
Wow.
connection with her message.
It's Clover. Vasselheim has fallen. Need supplies at Dawn Keep. How are you? What came of Westron? I miss you. I did the math. I wrote it down.
Thank you.
I actually have like 4 words to spare.
Vesper's in bad shape. Western's destroyed as far as I know. Percy's dead. Keyless not doing well. I don't know how many supplies we can get through to you. I'll try.
Can I send back one more message?
Sure.
Have you heard from Mom and Dad? What about Lyndon? Is the farm okay?
Haven't made our way down there yet. Been too busy trying to keep the gate closed. No words though. I haven't heard any damage going that far south yet. The mountains are burning once more.
Oh gosh.
It's the last 5 words she gets out.
Can I send one more?
Yeah.
To the same person.
Okay.
My message will say,
Here, I can keep track of.
Thank you.
you are together. Does he know? Is grandfather dead?
That's 9 words, so you got 14 more. No, 16 more. If you want to use them.
At what's this place called?
Vassal or Dawn Keep Citadel.
Dawn Keep Citadel. Am safe. Talk later. See you soon.
You don't have to use all of them.
Mhm.
Okay.
We didn't plan to be here together. He doesn't know. Your grandfather I haven't seen.
Oh.
Just wound up in a circle together before we were teleported.
Oh my god.
Are making our way towards Ankarel. I've heard they're housing refugees.
Right. Okay. Gotta get the heck up out of here. That's great news. I'm very happy. In my head, I'm extremely happy, but also kind of confused because they're together after all these years, and it's overwhelming to me that they're in the same, like it's almost like destiny that they're together. Like also this, I'll say this childhood dream that I always wanted is like starting to like come back to life. That feeling of having that family together is like, is this actually like a thing? But also I'm like, I'm not a child anymore. I kind of like try to push it away, but also like you can kind of see it on my face that I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, you know, kind
Okay.
of there. But I feel like I know where I need to go now.
Okay. Does anyone else want to send any messages in this moment?
Um, I'll sort of look to the clerics and do you guys know of anybody in Pyra?
The bring up my pirate notes. We are familiar with Sir Konos, the flame speaker.
I'd like to send a message to him. Essentially the same thing of Vasselheim has fallen, Earth Primordial resurrected, housing survivors at Dawnkeep Citadel need food, help, and supplies. Voice of Tempest needs help as well.
You hear the first thing you hear is the coughing that as the spell is being translated, the cleric doing their best to translate the energy through towards you. Portal ripped open. The city is burned. No supplies to be given. Not many left. Need help
we
if
know of-
possible.
Need help? Bring from where?
They need help in Pyra. But from what I can tell, they also need help in Zephyra.
We need
And they
help
need
here.
help in Western. They need help everywhere.
Do we know
The only one-
anybody on the water plane? Or whatever the name of the gate to the water plane is?
Ron, I got a message I need you to send. But I need you to send it to Cord.
I think that is a message that will be need to be sent in a little bit. We'll have to set up a space to make that connection.
Well, we're beyond everything now. If we got portals ripping all over the world to these primordial planes, Vox Machina devastated. We got the Ashari people asking for help. We've got the city of gods flattened. There's a divine gate, but that gate needs to be opened. We need help. Because at this point, I don't know what else we can do. I think it's time for a little divine intervention. I rescind the word little. It's time for divine intervention. We need help.
Anybody have a plan?
Are we still doing messages?
If you'd like to.
I don't have them.
I have one last message.
Okay.
I do too. I'll go after you.
Okay.
One thing.
What do you got, Clover?
Everyone else, I would want to send a message to. They don't know, so that's like a flip of a coin. But I want to send a message to Tristan.
Okay.
You left, and everything fell apart. please come
Oh.
back.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I love you.
Clover getting up and
that
walking
was
away.
good. That was good. That was really good. Good job. I'm convinced that's why he tried to kill us this last campaign, just for that moment.
Okay. I'm done sending messages. I'm gonna go clean up the dead bodies.
Okay.
Gotta go reorganize the bodies. I have one last message.
All right. What do you got?
They all know who this person is. I'm trying to reach the head priest of the church of, how do you say it? Not the demon one, but the other one.
Bahamut.
Yeah, I keep
Okay.
saying
We
the other
learned
one.
Isn't
last time that
he-
he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's gone.
Oh, he is dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fuck. Never mind then.
What do you got, Whisper?
I have a question. It's not related to sending a message though. Do any of you have a like scrying focus?
To scry to where?
Well, I want to scry on someone.
We can get one for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Give us a little bit, and actually, just take mine. She kind of opens up a purse on the side and holds out her scrying focus. Take this. I will get another one.
Thanks. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
See.
Then, if there's nothing else to do in this moment, we're gonna jump to our break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. See where this rest of this episode takes us. All right. Love you, geeks. See you soon. And we're back. So, with all of our oh, actually, we're on an ad break for the next 5 seconds, so I'm going to give us 5 seconds. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. So, with all of our messages sent, and you all having the moment with just Groon inside the chapel area, Finnick, roll me a perception check.
Okay. I'll cast guidance on myself. Why not? Or I guess I don't know if I can if this is just a random perception check.
I would say probably not.
Probably not. 17.
As you kind of sit there for a moment, that faint rattling of chains kind of echoes down a hallway somewhere. And as you look towards trying to find the source, you see the statue of Pelor that's been, or at least the iconography of Pelor. I'll let you decide what exactly that looks like in your ancestral home. You
Like
see
a tapestry.
it's a tapestry, okay?
A giant, like on the back of, like, because there would have been a stained glass window, but that got shattered during the battle. But then there would be, like, on another wall would be, like, or 2 walls, there'd be 2 separate tapestries depicting different battles that Pelor had fought.
So as you're kind of looking around, you see that those 2 tapestries of Pelor, and behind him you see chains like smoky tendrils in the tapestry moving closer and closer to his visage.
Ooh.
I just stare at it.
You stare for a moment, and then you blink, and they're normal.
Cool.
But Groon stands there now in front of you, Gormrog. We can try and reach out to Horde, and if that is something you'd like.
Oh, we? I don't do that. But
Well,
That's
you're
what
asking
you
me
think,
to reach out to him. I figured you'd all like to be a part of this message.
Who's Cord?
Oh, God.
God. The Stormlord.
Oh, wonderful.
yeah. I don't know about being part of it. We need help, and who better to defeat primordials than the divine, I guess, maybe? I'm having second thoughts. This is your area of expertise. I don't.
Well, this is your request, however, so
Yeah. All right.
if this is something you want to do, then I would implore you to reach out to him yourself. I will help, obviously, but this needs to be your message to the Stormlord.
Right. How do we do this?
Well, let's set up the space. When he begins to find a space where he can set up a bit of iconography, kind of takes off the heavy orbs from his neck, and as he lays them down, you hear them hit the ground with the audible thud, and you can see that they are exceptionally heavy. He kind of begins to cross his legs, and he goes to kind of bring his fingers together, but when he realizes he only has one hand now. He just holds his fist in front of his chest. Gormrog, please come sit with me.
All right.
Would anyone else like to reach out in this moment to try and give something to this ceremony? Okay.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to talk to a god?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell?
Whisper standing very far in the back.
Yeah.
Clover, would you like to be a part of this?
I guess I will drop the broom and come back, sure.
Okay. So he motions for you all to sit around him. And as you kind of cross your legs, sitting with Earthbreaker Grun in this moment, you hear him begin to almost sounds like a chant or a mantra of sorts as he begins to mumble under his breath. Does anyone speak Celestial? Okay.
But I'm not. Nobody knows I speak.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I speak Celestial.
That's fine. You hear him beginning to chant, Stormlord, please give us strength in this moment. Give us the strength to carry on. Give us the strength to fight. Give us the strength to reach out and hear your guidance. And he just keeps repeating this over and over again. And in this moment, you hear everything around you begins to get dulled. The lights dull. The sounds dull for you. Whisper, you see it very different. You see Earthbreaker Goon, the tattoos on his body begin to glow and illuminate. The orbs that sit in front of him now begin to swirl with what looks like electricity or a lightning bolt. You're not quite sure from this distance. You just see the echoes of it from behind Grun. For the rest of you, the orbs look normal. Just dull pieces of metal sitting in front of her Grun. Who out of the four of you would like to go first to offer something to this connection?
Now, when you say offer, do you mean like something like an actual physical object, or like when we do the life-saving thing, like a check?
It could be anything. I'm going to make you roll a skill check of some sort. So whatever you would like to do to reach out to Earthbreaker Grun in this moment. But yes, we are going to run this very... Yes, I'm sorry. To Cord. But yes, similar to how we run resurrection rituals.
Can't do what I did the first time, so.
I can go first.
I have no idea what I would be doing.
Okay. Finnick, what would you like to do?
I guess praying, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
We are scared. We are unsure. Having faith has only gotten us so far. We would greatly appreciate your guidance and your assistance in sealing the primordials back to where they came from. I know you've done it once, so who says you can't do it again? And I will use... Do you feel like that's more religion or persuasion?
I would say that's a persuasion check.
That's fine. That's my better of the two.
Yeah.
Can I give myself guidance in this
Yes,
moment?
yes, you can give yourself guidance for this.
Okay. Thank you.
All
Now,
right.
where the fuck is my D4? There it is. Okay. Okay. Dirty 20.
Okay. Whisper, as you're watching this, you see electricity beginning to spark off around Cord, and you see it arching onto his shoulders and his head, and you see it beginning to reach out, licking out towards your friends, though not reaching them just yet.
Like one of those plasma balls.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was just tongues made of lightning, just licking us.
Ew. No.
Up, dude.
Listen, I'm stressed. I gotta make jokes. I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll pull out the amulet of the Storm Lord
Okay.
and just I'm gonna call up what I remember from my study at the Cobalt Soul about the primordials and the gods and their conflicts, and I'm a student of history, right?
Yes.
So I'd like to make this a history check.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna recall Cord's place in that conflict, and as the Stormlord, I'm asking for his help with vengeance, with retribution, with an angry return of violence in response to violence, in a way that, as a monk, I don't necessarily agree with, but as an orc, it is in my nature to be angry, and yes, I am scared, but I am very, very angry.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a history check for me. And just for you, Date, so you were aware, once a skill is used in these sort of checks, it can't be used again by anyone else. So, like, you could, if you want to use something, it can no longer be a persuasion or a history roll.
Oh, so I can't use a persuasion
Correct.
or okay, I can
Because it's already been used by these two. What'd you roll?
In these situations.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, got you. I got one then.
Okay, cool. What'd you roll
I
down?
rolled a 17 plus 5 for 23.
Okay. And again, for you all in the circle now, it is just the sounds becoming muted and darkness kind of sinking in on you. Not in an oppressive, scary way, but like everything is becoming quieter. The lights are becoming quieter. Sounds are becoming quieter. For you, Whisper.
A meditative way.
Exactly. Like you feel yourself becoming more connected in this space. For you, Whisper, you see that expanding orb of electricity. You see it now arcing from Groon to your party members, individually connecting against each of them. And you can hear the electricity in this moment. I know you, Zarel, have something you'd like to add. What would you like to add in this moment?
I'm gonna. I can't add what I had last time, which I would be sure it would work. But,
You could if you wanted to. It just can't be something they have already done in this ritual.
Well, I don't want to. That would require me to.
Okay.
To
I
unveil again.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm hoping to make this a religion check.
Sure.
I have an amulet, a holy symbol amulet,
Uh-huh.
that was given to me by my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had it ever since, so it's important to me. And I mean, I have knowledge of stuff, so I'm gonna say something to him in Celestial,
Okay.
because I'm speaking directly to him.
Yeah.
And it's almost along the lines of do this for your namesake, because you are this person. This is who you've declared yourself to be. This is who you have proven yourself to be. So fulfill that,
Okay.
like you say that you can and you will.
Okay.
And it's not a disrespectful way, but it's like a
Right, calling him to take action in his domains.
yeah, just for the simple fact that it's within your ability and it's your like kind of your job, and because if I could do it, I would do it, but I can't, so you do it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know
I
what I
got you.
mean?
I
So,
got you.
especially because you want to have the title, so do your job.
Okay. Go ahead then and roll me a religion check.
Okay, and that's out of 20, correct?
Yep. Roll a d20. Add your religion modifier.
Okay. 14.
14. Okay. It's in this moment that nothing seems to happen. There's no expansion for you, Whisper, and there's a lull in the moment for the rest of you inside this space. So it doesn't seem like a 14 was high enough to implore him any further, as you are literally calling a god to this space.
Damn it.
Clover, what would you like to do as the last one?
I'm nervous. I
Okay.
have an idea. I don't know if this is gonna work, and it's also not really an ability check, so I
That's
guess.
fine.
Okay. Clover's gonna take out her daggers, and she's going to do like spin and do the swift motion of stabbing someone, but she's going to kind of like jump and slam her dagger down against the ground. And as she slams her dagger down against the ground, she casts Booming Blade,
Okay.
summoning thunder.
Okay.
And she keeps her head down as the thunder booms around her and just whispers like into it, "I am indebted to you. Please help us."
Roll an attack for me.
Oh, what kind of attack? Because Booming Blade is a cantrip, so I can do like a dagger.
So
hit?
roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
Modifier or spell attack?
The spell attack bonus that you have.
Oh, spell attack. Well,
Yeah.
it was an 18, but now it's a 19, 20, 21, 22.
Okay. Then, as you slam the blade into the ground, and there's that explosion of thunder in that space, as the dust from the explosion of sound sweeps off into the air, kicking up dust and debris around you. For all of you, there is very suddenly a large humanoid shaped male standing in front of you, his hair grayed and flowing behind his back. The orbs that Grun wears are now adorned around his neck. So he has literally taken up that space. There is a storm cloud just swirling above his head. For you, Whisper, as there is this sudden explosion of lightning, as lightning literally rips through the sky in front of them. And you see the same as you're brought into this space too. As that orb explodes out and fills the entire room. Let me actually do something fun for this.
Fun?
What?
How do I sound?
Oh.
Oh.
What?
Like you're coming through a CV radio.
Yes,
Mhm.
it is I.
Yeah. That's wild.
Very well. This is how we will speak for this.
Like that.
Right.
Groon,
Uh,
you have summoned me to this space. This of fate.
he knows our name.
I know your name, Glumdog.
I'm just gonna stay on the ground and continue to bow my head.
My head is bowed as well.
I'm holding eye contact.
Bring your heads up. There's no subserviency here. Are you not warriors? Is this not what you stood for?
We
so.
are people.
Why have you called me here, Gormlog?
Because people, many of whom are indebted to the gods and serve the gods day in and day out for their entire life, especially in this place, which has been here since the gods touched the earth.
I'm aware. I was here when it was built. I stepped
Right.
foot in this place before time itself.
And the primordials have trampled it.
Was it not theirs? If their strength is greater than yours, is it not their right to take it back?
You were the ones who sealed them away.
Because we were
Or
stronger.
us.
You are still stronger. And that's why we need you and why we are here for you.
Clover, we were stronger because there was many of us. There are only half of us now. The rest
What?
have left us, turned to their own dark desires.
Right. Yeah.
The betrayers.
So what can
So,
we do?
what can
Does
we
it help
do?
if we say there's only two of them?
There's
Only a
only
third
two
of
for
them.
now.
For now.
So
Okay.
help us stop them from bringing more back.
I'll do all I can, but as long as the gate remains intact, there's little I will be able to do from here.
Is there
What?
anything that you can give us or bestow on us to get us to the point where we can overtake them?
Yeah, give me some flashy magic items, huh? Yeah.
Give me a boon, why don't you?
I don't shit.
Do you say that out loud, Finnick?
That was Cece talking. However,
I know
she
you
was
did.
thinking it. She was thinking it.
No. Okay. He holds a hand out. There's a thunderbolt that explodes in front of him. He just slams it down to the ground as a javelin of thunderbolt. I think is the name of the magic item.
A javelin of lightning?
Javelin of lightning.
Is that directed in front of anybody in particular,
He
or
just
just in the
he just
center?
puts it in front of himself.
Okay.
Javelin.
Cord.
Lightning.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so
What did you say?
Oh no.
Sorry, go ahead.
what I think we also need is knowledge and information. We are not the gods. You guys are powerful. You guys are many. We are many different species and creatures, and we'll have to figure out how to do it. But how did you guys take them down? You were there. You guys experienced it. What was their major downfall that we can exploit? We're willing to fight. We're willing to go ahead and fight and succeed, but we need some kind of something to give us the upper hand.
We were only able to defeat them because we were able to use Moradin and have him separate their souls from their bodies.
Helpful.
Would you need another warden to do so?
The Warden was only the Watcher of the Blades. The Guardian was a title established after we already separated them.
Right.
You will need Moradin's hammer if you wish to separate them once more.
Is the warden still
Where-
alive?
No, he's
No,
he
he's
did
not.
did.
He did. Okay.
Dead.
He did it. Um, where is it?
It has been lost to time and space. Though rumor has that it has found itself in the Shadowfell, brought there by a betrayer.
Wonderful.
Which betrayer?
My old friend, Lolth, brought it there.
Oh,
Before
the
she was
spider
cast
queen.
down to the infernals.
I'm gonna be really honest, you guys. I'm completely lost. Can,
Oh,
can
fuck.
I
This-
take this
this-
javelin? Is this a gift?
Yeah, you asked me for a weapon. I brought your weapon.
Did you ask?
Zeril asked to give us. Well, we asked for Cord to give us something.
Yeah.
I'm very distracted by the
Will
lightning
we?
javelin.
Yeah, we'll
I'm-
pick it up.
Focus, Gormlog.
Sorry.
Finnick is considering saying the boon thing out loud. However, because she is sworn to Bahamut, does not know if this would make her an oath breaker if it only added to her oath of protecting the people.
You would imagine that getting a boon by another prime deity would not go against your oath for another prime
would not?
deity. It would not.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna look at the Stormlord. Essentially, what else would we be able to receive? Something bigger.
Something stronger. Can I tell Cord, or can I say this out loud? My original mission is gone. I'm a warrior or a person lost without a purpose, and I'm willing to take up this as my new mission, to, get me back on track. Because I don't have a side note, I don't have a prime deity that I'm like connected to. I mean, I was raised by people, but I don't really have a, connected to anybody. So.
One of you I
Almost
can
like-
bestow a boon upon.
I'll say that last part again.
One of you I'm able to bestow a boon upon in this moment.
Ooh.
I can promise you either irresistible offense, fortitude, combat prowess. It's It's for you to decide. Whoever shall take it.
It's an irresistible
DM.
offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does
Look
that
up-
mean?
Look up boon, and then you'll see the boons, and those are 3 of the boons.
Okay, give me a second. CC needs to read for a second.
Roll a d20, see who gets the highest.
I know. I'm about to grab this lightning rod and make the oath because fuck it.
Yeah, however,
Feel some type of way with it.
Nothing will be taken, so it has to be agreed upon.
oh,
Much appreciate.
I need a new mission. You said the irresistible.
Irresistible offense,
Hold on,
fortitude, or
'cause-
combat prowess. They're all combat ones, you know what I mean? So it's for people that
Honestly,
are...
yoink.
irresistible offense looks like it'd be great for Clover, honestly. As it says, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage you deal always ignores resistance.
Ooh.
Doesn't say anything about immunities, though, but when you roll 20 on the d20 for an attack roll, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to the ability score increased by this feat, either strength or dexterity. The extra damage type is the same as the attacks type, but that still is, you know.
This thing is boon of fortitude as well.
Yeah.
Your hit point maximum increases by 40.
Jesus.
Oh.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Or
Absolutely.
combat prowess, when you miss with a melee attack, you can choose to hit instead. Once you use this boon, you can't use it again until a short rest.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind that.
That's still, yeah, that would have worked with Sammy.
I grow tired. I will bestow this boon to everyone who drinks this coin. He forges a coin in his hand and leaves it down on the
You
altar.
bestow this to everyone who.
Anyone who takes this coin, and he forges it into a coin and puts it down on the counter.
I would
Is there
like to
anything else that you
reach
need
for
of me in
this
this moment?
I'm gonna reach for the
He's
coin.
like, I'm
just
trying to get
because I
the heck
see
out of
Daryl
here.
reaching for the coin.
I want it.
You guys can figure that out in a side chat in a little bit when the god is not standing in front of you.
Oh, okay.
Grabbing the javelin.
Okay?
Horde, before you leave, you've already done so much for us, but can I please ask one more favor?
What would you like, Clover?
Can you please make it rain over Hobolt County and Stillben so that the fire doesn't reach them?
Your family lives for the time being. The fires have not stretched that far south.
Okay.
But I will make it rain for the time being,
Thank you.
as I will make them rain over Africa.
Do.
Anyways, as you all finish your questions, if there's nothing left, there's another flash of lightning. The lights return in the space, and he is gone.
Did I see any of that?
You saw all of it. You saw
okay.
all of it. You saw and heard all of it.
I think that went okay.
Better than okay.
Well,
Grun looking.
He looks fine. Doesn't seem like this took anything out of
Voice
him.
mod is still on, by
Thank
the way.
I say, dear listeners, we are going to...
There we go.
Mm.
That was the free Fallout mod for
yeah,
Elgato.
that's pretty lit. I am kind of on the inside thinking, wow, I'm a little bit more. I feel like I found like a little bit of a purpose with the news that I got that people are alive, and also like now there's like a greater thing to do. I feel like I have like a little bit of a purpose. So I'm gonna say to everybody, okay, well, it looks like we have a direction. And I want the boon. I want it and I want it now. But I
I
look at
also
Finnick.
want the boon. I also want it and I want it now.
Yeah.
Zero, respectfully, we just met you.
Respectfully, no.
Fuck you guys. Yeah. Well,
I mean, maybe if your sacrifice to the god helped summon him, the weight of your words would be stronger.
Let's take
wow.
a step back.
I cut the.
You
I
know,
cut
just in
the.
character,
You-
right?
I
That was
no
so
no. I
rude.
yes. I cut the sharpest look at at Clover. Oh, is that so?
Saw you got your
Okay,
hair this
we're
morning.
not. We are not
Oh,
doing
no.
this right now. We are not getting into.
I think it's a great time to do this because I mean the last time my thing was accepted, I brought your friend back, and I didn't see you
No.
having anything to say back then.
Well,
Whisper.
to be fair, Whisper brought my friend back, and I participated in that
Right.
ritual as well.
It really seems like I know we've just met, and I know it hasn't been long, but we all have lost something, and it just seems like at least at this point there should be a little bit of trust between us. Just saying.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. That was really out of character for me, and I'm still just a little angry because of the comment you made to me yesterday, and I shouldn't have fought back like that, and I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm going
point of
to
clarification, guys. I read the 2024 version of the boon, not the 2014 version.
That's what I read too. So I was just going to use the 2024 versions. So, but if you guys would prefer to choose the other boon, I'm fine with that.
I don't really care.
Yeah, I went out when I was reading them. I was going off the 2024 ones, but if you would prefer to use the 2014s, that's fine.
Okay, listen. I don't want us fighting when we're already so stressed and all of us have shit going on. Let's be fucking real about it, okay?
Apologize.
I don't know.
What?
I didn't hear what you
I'm
said,
sorry.
Clover.
I didn't hear what you said. I couldn't hear you all the way over there.
Oh, you can't hear my mic?
No.
Oh yeah, no,
Listen,
I do.
I said I apologized, and I think that we can all just take some time and talk this out. You're
Fine.
right. You do deserve some trust from us. You did try to help bring Finnick back, and if Whisper wasn't there, you absolutely would have, and I thank you for that.
Fine. I'm sorry about calling you a name.
Thank you. It really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Also,
I will say, Date, Clover is a little girl. She's about
19.
19.
I don't care.
Just as context for you.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, I don't care. That means 0 to me.
Just so you know.
To me, in my head,
Please.
I thought she was older, a little bit older, because that's what. But in my head,
Oh, I think we're losing. Am I losing everyone, or is it...
Oh no.
No, it's just
I'm like,
Day Day.
oh.
No, unfortunately, Zero.
uh-oh, can you hear me? I'm here.
Yeah,
we hear you.
yeah.
Okay.
You're just lagging out a bit.
Okay. Lag. Okay, fine. I think you're right. I'm sorry about the comment I made about your ears. Also, I think, if you just wear them out, you'd be fine. There's nothing worse than a bad hiding spot.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe think about that.
I will.
Also, since we're being honest, I think it would be great if we, had a little open discussion. I'll go first. Mr. Sunshine, it'll be greater for the team if you could buck up just a little bit. You're a orc, not a orc. You're a
Yeah.
Half orc.
Mm-hmm. Half orc.
you're a half orc. You should probably act like it. Um, Whisper, love you. You're great. Don't change anything. Might want to swing that thing a little bit faster, but love you. And Cream Queen, I know you are a tortured soul, but you're kind of the leader here from what I'm gathering, so I'm going to need you to step it up. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's my piece. Go ahead, you guys. I think this is really going to
Well-
help us as a team.
Since this is an open discussion,
You
Mhm.
see Groon just like standing up and like slowly starting to back out of the room.
I used Mage Hand to open the door for him.
He turns and
Um,
leaves promptly.
From what I can tell, you are someone who only cares about themselves and can only look down on people from standing on your fucking ego.
Mm.
And maybe you should take a step down and realize that what you're doing is not going to want to make us keep you around. Some of us want to fucking help you. But we're not going to want to do that if you keep talking that way to my friends. I will personally kick you out myself if you don't get your shit together.
I guess that's fair.
Respectfully.
Do you feel better? Do you feel better?
You don't want an honest answer to that.
Oh, well. Anybody else?
I think this was really good, and I think we've really gotten somewhere with each other. Maybe you can end this conversation by singing us all a song and lift our spirits.
That would be wonderful, but I only sing when I'm getting paid. It's a job, dear. But I do appreciate you guys' candor. I love it. It's great. You guys look and feel better, don't you, right? We've talked, we've thrown out all the things that we need to say.
I feel like my heart is shaking a little bit, but sure.
Right. I feel like we've gotten a plan. So, team leader, Finnick,
No.
I'm pointing at you.
Hold on.
Are you not the team leader?
Well, you said it was an open discussion and not everybody got to talk.
Okay, well, who didn't talk? Oh,
You are new, and I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and just say you're ignorant. If I acted like an orc, you'd be dead. Not dying, not hurt, dead. Especially for the way you've been talking to me. Now I can hit you 8 times in 6 seconds. Or I can continue doing what I've been doing for the last God knows how many years, and I can resist the temptation of being an orc. And I can be a monk like I have chosen for myself. I can be a fighter and protector of my friends. And I can let you live. But if you keep pushing me, if you keep insulting my friends, you will be dead. I won't give you another warning. Cut
Well.
it the fuck out.
oh. Well, at least I know that you're not all sunshine and rainbows. Jeez. Well, I will say this. I have a little bit of a slick mouth, but I don't get the luxury of having people around me that care and have my back. So I get it. I'm a little abrasive. Great on stage, not so great in person. But what's coming up next? We don't get to do this kumbaya thing. It's getting real out here. I know you guys have been through a lot, but you guys have had each other. I
Heh.
just find out that I had no one, and now I have someone, kind of. So we're all gonna have to step it up. I do respect your choice to be a monk, but in this fight, you're gonna have to bring out a little bit more of that other side because we're gonna need it. I don't say these things to just inflict harm, but y'all apparently are the team that is supposed to save the world. I don't see anybody else doing it. So I'm sorry for the way I'm saying it, but I mean every word of it. We have to develop. You don't have to like me. You don't really even have to care about me. But we do have to work together because we're not going to be able to get this done without each other. Is that fair?
How are you getting good? What are you working on? Sorry.
I could.
Yes, it's fair.
Yes.
Yes, we need to get better. Yes, we're up against fucking titans. Primordial titans. We need to be better. Nobody's denying that. So, Mr. Pep Talk,
Mm-hmm.
what are you working on? What do you bring to the team?
I want to do this right now. I think to myself, should I, in good spirit, tell them, or should I not? And I'm having a dilemma.
At this point, what do you got to lose?
I mean, the world's ending, so fuck it. I'm gonna say, well, I guess I could start off with being honest.
Solid choice.
The people. I'm trying not to say it because it's just really, I've been holding it for so long. I am not necessarily the person that you guys think I am.
To be fair, we have no idea who you are, so I don't think any of us think you're anybody. I don't mean that as in we think that you're nobody. We just don't know what body you are.
Yeah. Well,
That part.
that's true. Well, Finnick, I think me and you got a lot more in common than we think.
You keep saying that.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
Okay. Well, Zero goes, okay, step back. Come on, step back. Take a step back.
I don't.
Step
I
back.
don't move.
And then I go, fine. And then I take a step back. And then I and then I take off the gold band on my wrist that I always have. And then I kind of toss it and it starts to float in front of me, and then it goes on top of my head. And then my it turns into a full-blown like golden halo, and my hair turns sparkly white, and my shirt rips off because the tattoos on my back turn into like giant like stone gray wings. My eyes are completely like the sun and like the astral plane, and I may have thrown in a little prestidigitation for the extra effect to be like, whoosh, a little bit of wind, a little bit of sparkle, you know, and then I go, this is what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Number 3.
Now,
and I go, that's it.
it's a great look on you, but now who are you is what I would like to know. We have your
Well,
name.
I am Zero. My father is, I guess now, the head priest of the Church of, not the devil, but I can't not say this guy's name.
Bahamut?
Bahamut. I'm gonna get it. Bahamut. And my mother is the cleric nun. Yeah. I'm a ASMR. Protector ASMR. Yep.
Well, there was a crew member on our airship that was also an ASMR. And of course, you've met Fennec and know how amazing she is. So forgive us if we're not, our guests are not flabbered by the fact that another ASMR exists. And that's wonderful that you can bring that to the table.
Yeah.
How are you improving?
Well, honesty, and I'm actually not that mean. I just kind of have to be mean so people won't ask questions. It's easier to keep secrets when people don't want to be around you. I've never met
No,
another
I get
one.
that part.
I've never met another one. So when I saw you fall through that building as I was running to chase Sammy, I had never seen one, so I felt that kindred, thing with you, and I felt that I had to stay and had to, you know, be with you and do what you're gonna do. I mean, I know you're a little. I say tortured soul, but I know
Oh,
you
you're
have
not
a.
wrong.
Yeah, I felt it when I met you, but I couldn't say that without letting my own, thing come out. So this is what I have. I do think your ears are great. I just have to keep this on the low. I, came here
Well,
originally for a mission, and now that mission is done. So I guess I need another purpose. So
You have to make yourself unlikable to keep secrets. I mean, I love Whisper, and she's kept lots of secrets from me.
that's true.
But he's really likable, so.
Yeah, Whisper's pretty cool.
She's mean mugging all of us.
Right. She's just like, hey. I whisper.
Rare.
I didn't catch what he just said at all.
Oh, what Daytay said?
Yeah, it all cut out for me.
Oh, I whispered to Whisper are my favorite. Like,
That's fair.
So how about this? You work on being less of a dick. I'll work on being a little more cheery. We all work on being a little bit better and working together. Fair?
I think I can get with that.
And I'll hold out my hand.
Super. I'm gonna hold his hand. I'm gonna do one of these. So precious.
Shake Don't antagonize me.
Also, Clover, I mean it. I think the sooner you accept yourself, the more you'll be able to feel your whole, potential. It is you. I mean, I know this is coming from somebody who's hidden from a long time, but let me tell you, the more you hide, the less you can find when you actually want to like show yourself to the people that you care
I
about.
mean, if I'm being completely honest, I was starting to get more and more comfortable not hiding my ears until you called me Flopsy.
But look, I mean, I've called you probably one of the worst things that anybody's ever called you, and you made it through.
Just keep digging that hole.
I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it.
Go
Okay.
So
get back to cleaning up dead bodies. You guys.
we gotta go.
Yeah, I'm
Are we
gonna
gonna go?
go have a funeral real quick.
Oh
I feel like
yeah.
burning something might cheer me up a bit.
Okay.
Whoa.
Can I do something?
By all means, you haven't spoken
Or are
the
you
entire
trying
night.
to? Yeah, I don't know if you were trying to close us out.
No, we got time.
Okay. So I'm assuming everyone like decides to slowly leave this conversation. Whisper, who has been quiet that whole conversation, will say under her breath, but just loud enough that you'll all hear it. You said this was an open forum, but you didn't give me a chance to speak. And she's
Still
gonna look.
listening.
Is everybody still listening?
I
Yeah.
will stop. As I was getting ready to leave, I will stay in my spot.
I mean, I'm still there. I'm just also on the floor cleaning dead bodies.
Rather, it seems like this whole conversation, it's been like the fists facing Daryl, but Whisper's gonna turn and face the rest of the fists. And she's gonna say, I thought this was different. And I thought maybe this was the place where I finally belonged with the fists, right? And I thought you all were different, and I thought that you were my friends. But when I fell, I wasn't afraid, I wasn't worried about dying. What hit me harder than that fall really ever could do to me was the silence. The fact that none of you even looked, and I thought they've got me. Like they're gonna do something. They'll care. But no, it was just me alone. Do you all know what that feels like? To be forgotten, to just
I
fall
never
and
forgot
fall.
you, Whisper.
I had to
Where
wild
did I
shape into a
not-
giant eagle to save myself, knowing that it would cost me the chance to fight Sammy in my more powerful form. And still I came back. I came back for all of you because I thought you needed me. I saw Sammy down there reaching the heart of the Titan, and I could have ended it. I could have gone after her before the Titan came to life. But I turned around, and I turned around for you, for my friends. And when I got back, it was like I hadn't even left. None of you were looking over the edge. None of you even cared. And then Finnick falls. Finnick, who can literally grow wings just like I can. But this time, Gormog, you jumped. You didn't hesitate. You didn't think. You just acted. And that's, I think, when it really hit me. I'm the fifth wheel, right? You've all got each
No.
other.
No.
You've got Tristan. Gormog, you got Finnick.
Oh, where?
Well, you had him. You still have, I don't
Barely.
know.
What, between when he's talking to himself and when he's talking to his fiance?
I'm just always on the outside, or I'm just used as a convenience. And then Finnick died, and I'm the only one who's there thinking about her soul potentially being trapped in the heart, and this stranger was about to cast magic on her body, and ultimately I'm the one who has to bring her back. I'm the one who has to use my blade and my connection with Vitalis to save her life. And what happens after? She kisses you, Gormrog. She holds Clover's hand, and I'm just standing there. And again, on the outside. So, Gormrog, why wasn't I worth it? And then I'm going to turn to the rest of you. Why wasn't I enough for any of you to even care? Or is that just the way it is now? If I fall
Never-
again, should I just stay down next time?
Whisper, I was trying to find you last night so I could talk to you. I wanted to talk to you this morning, but it's clear you didn't want to. You were busy. Whisper, I want to connect with you more. I do. In the middle of that fight, we were all preoccupied. I was worried.
I was literally fighting my way to the hole. I never would have let you die. And to be fair, you've gone down several times and I haven't let you die. I've brought you back. Maybe not in the same capacity that you brought Finnick back, but I never would have let that happen to you.
Feels like I'm always on the outside.
I would like to validate your feelings. Being on the outside, of feeling left out, of being the fifth wheel, I do know what that feels like. And it sucks. I would also like to clarify that when I dove after Finnick, I had every faith in her that she would be able to fly, just like I have every faith in you that you are able to fly. But she was pinned down by that rock monster that dragged her off the edge. And I don't know dick about changing from one thing into another. But I've seen you turn into elementals, I've seen you turn into animals, and I don't know how that works. And I am sorry for not understanding that in turning into a bird, that takes away a more powerful thing. I'd
I
like
could
to
have been
learn
more
better.
help.
I'd like to learn. I couldn't have helped you if I dove after you. I expected to hit the ground when I dove after her. So that she could fly. I will work, if you'll let me, to be better. But you're right. I took you for granted. I assumed you'd be able to save yourself and join us again. And for the way that hurt you, I'm sorry. I do
Whisper,
value
I'm
you and your
sorry.
place in here, and I fucked up. I will own that.
I'm going to interject here for a moment.
Hmm.
Whisper, as you are having these emotions and feelings and conversations, you see that familiar blue bird
This fucking guy.
in the corner of the room, looking at you pointedly. You hear in your mind them speak to you. I can help you run like I did before. We can run away. Leave this behind.
He's gonna look back at the bird. It's gonna clock what it said to her. But she's not gonna respond. Instead, she clearly is starting to cry. She's been holding that in for a long time, or it seems like a long time. It's only been like a day, but I just feel like I could have stopped how bad this got if I just would have went to Sammy and not came back for all of you. And now I just feel really guilty. Seeing all these people here, seeing how much this town was destroyed, even if I didn't like this city, what if I could have stopped it and I chose to not, and I made the wrong choice? It's weighing on me.
You tried to stop this. You warned everybody. It was never gonna come down to just you and Sammy. The only way that we won was all of us together.
Whisper, please don't blame yourself for this.
This
I
place,
tried to warn them.
yeah, they weren't gonna listen. This city, a part of my other mission is to wake the people up, and the sad thing about it is you could have warned them over and over until you guys turned blue in the face, but they were so content in where they are and that these leaders were going to save them that they just didn't want to listen. It's
Yeah.
not because you didn't, it's because they didn't.
Sorry that I wasn't a better friend.
Whisper, I'm sorry. And I wanted to say thank you for bringing me back. Without you, I wouldn't be here right now.
Happy you're back. Because, I mean, really, without you, I wouldn't be with any of this right now, or all that stuff with my family wouldn't have been solved, I guess.
You're the only one here who makes mud angels with me.
I would just say I'd much rather be fighting more of those bloody popsicles
Oh my goodness, right?
than a fucking titan. Shit went
And you have a
sideways
really
so
cool
quickly.
stick.
Mm. I don't really know what to say now that I got everything out, but I have a scrying focus, and I want to scry on Rainer before we leave, if y'all want to join me, because I
Is it
learned how to
okay
do
if I
that.
give you a quick hug first?
Sure. I'm not really the hugging type.
I just give her like a side hug then.
She gives like the stiffest hug back.
I just give a side hug with a little squeeze and
Are you still mad?
I think I'm just exhausted. But like in my brain, like not physically.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
and
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
100% clear.
I have one last comment to make, Whisper, and then I'll drop it.
Okay.
Because I know confrontation is uncomfortable, and
Yes.
you said you didn't. Let me see if I can get this right. You said you thought we were different, and that you might have a place to belong with us, with the fists. And the way you said it made it feel like you were questioning that. I will never demand that you stay if you don't want to. But for what it's worth, as far as I'm concerned, I want you to stay. And as far as I'm concerned, you belong with us. Besides, who else is going to take over cooking when I can't? I mean, Clover, but you know,
I'm
students
working
and
on a
teachers.
surprise
I could
for that,
never
by the way.
do what Whisper does in the kitchen. Do you remember that thing she made with all the rosemary?
Oh God, so much rosemary.
It was so good.
Whisper, I want you to stay too.
Thank you for saying all that. I don't want to leave because I mean this really is the first place and place being not like physical, but place being like with you all that I feel like I exist and I'm not invisible. Um, and so I think that's why it hurt even more to feel invisible again.
So, what's Raina doing?
I don't know, but we could do this. We can no more hugs and yeah.
I raise my hand. Now that we're all in a better place, if I was correct, we're gonna have to go to the infernal plane to get a hammer.
Is Shadowfell. It's different.
Shadowfell. Okay,
Rain of darkness.
just putting that out there.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Is Raina now just some guy?
Make
Did he
our
get
job
burned to a
easier.
crisp?
I don't know. I want to know what happened to him.
Oh,
Well, let's do the magic thing. How do you what do we gotta do?
I don't know, I haven't done this before, so that's why I asked for scrying focus. So we like sit in a circle.
Okay.
We can all try holding hands.
No, I'm good.
What about touching shoulders?
Finnick has a lot of things that she took off of Sammy. Maybe you can use those because Rainer might have touched them. My
I
mom used to
mean,
do this.
does
about-
Sammy have a wedding band?
He does, and I will say you would have grabbed it.
I would have, yeah.
Oh.
So I give that to Whisper for the spell.
nice. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I would like to pass scrying on Rainer.
Okay. So, Whisper, this being the first time that you are casting this spell, I would love for you to describe this for us.
What was the focus that they gave me? Was it a little mirror? Was it some like holy
anything
water?
you-
Was it a crystal
anything
ball?
you want. Feel free to
Crystal
describe
ball.
it any way that you prefer.
Yeah. Yeah, so I pull out the crystal ball I was just given, and it's very pretty and prismatic, and the light is shining everywhere through it. And I start to cast the spell. It does take 10 minutes to cast. So I warn everybody before I start casting it. This is going to take like 10 minutes, but we should be able to see what they're doing if it works. So wish me luck. And as I cast it, the very like shimmery and prismatic crystal ball, I'm holding it with both hands, and you see tendrils of leaves come out, but they're like illusionary leaves, like you can see through them, come out of my hands and swirl into the ball. But it's also mixed with flecks of gold from Vitalis's energy and shadow from Nox's energy. That's you see mixing with my natural druidic magic. And it's swirling through the ball as the ball's shimmering properties dull as I'm casting this spell.
I will say in this moment, as you have gathered your entire party with you, you are all brought in to the divination spell in this moment and are able to see through the crystal ball to the space beyond. As you watch as you watch as the images rise up and you're brought outside of the Dawn Rider's Keep, brought up, and your spirits travel to Tal'Dorei once more. As you soar through the clouds, you see, even through them, as you grow closer and closer, the glowing orange approaching. And as you pull into, you see the Iron Seat throne. The mountain range you've grown familiar with on the outskirts of Western. You see from the top of the mountain lava pouring down into the seat. You see it flowing out into the forest surrounding the forest many of you passed through, burning the forests. You see, just off on the peripheral, Western, smoking in ashen ruin. You pull in more, zooming into the mountain. You see layers and layers of crypt lowering down to the lower floors, magma and rock and fire throughout. You zoom in once more to the fire ganassi that you know is Raynor. Though to call him some half-elemental creature at this point would be disingenuous. He is a fire spirit, as half of his body is engulfed in flames. You see the eye that was once normal, his other golden eye, that is, from what you can gather, in some sort of magic item that casts fireball. The rest of his body is just engulfed in flames. And on the one side that is not burning actively, you see cracks throughout the stone skin, the magma, dried magma-like skin. You see lava flowing in the cracks. And while he no longer wields the blade, you see him, and what you could gather is a far more powerful form than you left him. You see him seated in a chair, the room around him looking like a bomb went off as everything around him is scorched and cindered. And as you kind of see his face, you see steam rolling from his eyes. And you gather he is crying at the news of a lost love. And you see the rage building as the flames burn on his side. Bits of blue licking at just the innermost parts of his body before growing and growing once more, before his entire body explodes once more in the space, scorching the walls again as his rage overcomes him. And you are pulled out from the vision, feeling the heat of the flames even in this disembodied versions of yourselves. You are brought back.
When the spell is ending, I'm gonna add a little flare, whispers magic, and I guess around her is almost like smoking with the shadowy energy of Nox.
Yeah.
As she's hissed.
You feel Nox in this moment, clawing at you. And while Nox loves the idea of death, and that is his domain, there is the battle spirit of the flame elemental, Ignis. That there is a kinship between the two. And Nox salivates at the rage that is inside Raynor at this moment. You feel that itch, that pull that is growing to the east. But you all return to the space. And if no one has anything they'd like to add, then that's where we're going to call for tonight.
Oof.
Okay.
Damn.
What the heck?
Holy
What the
shit,
heck
guys.
is going on?
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for all the raids. Let's see. We've got Logomancy Media. Thank you so much for the raid. We've got DM Feanor. Thank you so much for the raid. And there was another. Nope, that was it.
GM of Revan,
GM
thank you for the bits.
GM. What is that? GMO.
GM of
GM of
Oh,
Revan.
Revan.
that makes more sense than the way I was reading it. Thanks for
I
the
was like,
bits. Gamer Brian, thank you so much for the sub tonight. This was a wild fucking episode.
Holy.
All right, I got nothing else.
jeez.
Make sure to follow our socials.
Yeah, join the
As
Discord.
we have a lot of events and a lot of streams and one shots that we're going to be a part of as a part of Roll for Wishes, and as well as other stuff going on our channel. So make sure to follow our social media accounts to stay up to date for that, and join our Discord. Come talk with us.
Okay, we are
Let's connect this
being
community,
recommended
guys.
Fears and Fables to raid. So we're gonna jump over to them for the raid. We'll see you guys tomorrow, where me and Dom are playing a Roll for Wishes stream. So we'll be here tomorrow, 8 Eastern, for that. Besides that, I've got nothing else. What?
You're playing new D&D.
Yeah,
right? The
new
rules.
D&D 2024.
That's very
So that should be interesting. Besides that, I've got nothing else. Do you guys have anything else?
Don't forget, we love you, geeks.
Well,
Yeah.
if that's the case, remember, we love you, geeks. Good night.
Like,
cool. Night.